Hi everyone, thanks for watching the Irf and Merf Show.
Pretty sure it's the Merf Irf Show. I think we've been deliberating this for a while now. It's the Merf Irf Show.
Okay, whatever.
I take dominance.
Whatever
okay?
makes you happy, mate.
I'm in charge. I'm the real.
I suppose you
master.
are the carbon dioxide factory in this.
I'm the king of this.
Okay, you are the king stroke queen. You can be both monarchs.
I'm not a non-binary monarch.
No. Okay. Right.
Well,
Debatable.
it's interesting though, talking about monarchs. You know, I mean, the monarchy in particular. I mean, there's
how it sort of.
That's a very natural segue, wasn't it? That was very natural, totally not planned or anything. Yeah. That was very natural.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, monarchy. It's interesting to think about. You know, the hereditary rule. I mean,
a lot of people will switch off at this moment now. You know,
don't switch off. I promise it'll be interesting. I know a lot. I could do every English king and queen from William the Conqueror to Elizabeth II. I can do it in song form.
What?
I can do it in song form. Do you want me to do it right now?
Go for it, dude.
William, Henry, Stephen, Henry, Richard, John. Oi, Henry, Ed, Rich 2, then 3 more Henrys join our song. Edward, Rich the 3rd, Henry, Ed again. Mary 1, Good Queen Bess, Jimmy, Charles, and then Jim, Will, Mary, Anna, Gloria, George, Will, Victoria, Edward, George 6, then Queen Liz 2 completes the mix.
If Death Row Records are watching,
hit me up.
Yeah, but wow, that's impressive and slightly sad. But
it is a bit sad.
Yeah, no, but that's fair
it's like
enough.
A party trick.
And where did you learn that?
Horrible Histories.
Yeah, well done.
Big Horrible Histories.
So talking about the monarchy, what can you tell me besides everything?
Well, where to start? Where do you want me to start with that?
I mean, the monarchy, how the royal family that we know now. Some people say they're,
like lizards or something.
No. But they're Germans.
So basically, what happened? So there's an event in the late 17th century. It's called the Glorious Revolution. Because there's this king, he's James II. Everyone hates this guy. He's like a total asshole. No one likes him. Total prick. And he's pretty staunch Catholic. So they get rid of him, replace him with a Protestant king. And what happens is that line that dies out. And then they basically go through the line, because when a line dies out, they have to go back up, and they have to go to the cousins and such to try and find the closest relative who is able to be king. Closest relative though is a Catholic, and at this time we don't exactly like Catholics very much, so we keep going back and back, and we go to these really distant branches. Closest one was the King of Hanover, which is in Germany. So they don't get this German king in, George I, and he's German, and then from there, and he doesn't even speak English, he only speaks German. But that's where the whole idea that they're all Germans, that's where it comes from, because they go to this German king. But from then on, they're all born in England, they're just, from a guy who was originally from Germany. And we had for a very long time, so the current monarch is House of Windsor.
Yeah, that's their surname.
Right.
It was something else though.
It was
Claude?
It was Saxe-Coburg-Gotha.
Oh, okay.
It was called Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, and then during the First World War, obviously we're fighting the Germans. People don't like Germans very much, and being ruled by someone who has a German surname causes some problems.
Das ist nicht gut.
Yeah, das ist nicht gut. So the King George V decides to change his surname to a more English-sounding one, and he lands on Windsor, which is a lot more English sounding. But it is just the House of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, but it's been renamed.
Yeah. Sounds very sinister, doesn't it?
What, Saxe-Coburg-Gotha?
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does. But coming back to then the Windsor household.
Named after Windsor Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Named after Windsor Castle.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because basically, so this guy who was think of him as like the PR guy for the royal family. And they're thinking, okay, we've got to change the surname. There were so many proposals.
Why didn't they use this dude in Newsnight for Prince Andrew?
well, he's long dead, but I mean, he
Okay.
probably, to be honest, this guy was a genius. He probably would have even been able to help Prince
Who
Andrew.
is this guy?
I forget his name, to be honest.
Okay.
But he was important, but I forget his name. But
Okay.
basically, he's thinking of these names. They're talking about bringing back the House of Tudor. They're
Right.
thinking of bringing the Tudors back. They come up with all these different names. And one night, he's restless. He can't get to sleep. And he looks out his window, and his house is opposite Windsor Castle. And he's just looking at Windsor Castle, and he goes, Windsor? That's a pretty solid name.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And he telegrams the king, and the king's like, sorted.
Yeah.
That's
Done.
a brilliant name. Yeah. And that's
We're
how.
getting
Yeah.
a Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Windsors. So, what can you tell me about the modern royal family?
Well, obviously, I mean, it's not free from scandal. Obviously, we know about Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew should have all his titles revoked. If Prince Harry's getting his titles stripped, then Andrew definitely should. I think it's ridiculous that he's not. But
What's
I mean,
Prince Andrew done?
he's a nonce, isn't he? He's one of Epstein's guys.
Do you know the word nonce, where it comes from?
Tell me.
They sort of can't mix with other inmates. Yeah. So it's non-communal exercise.
Is that
on
where
their
it comes
door.
from?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's where nonce. So they don't want them,
Huh.
with other inmates because they'd probably get a leathering.
Well, they would. Well, they'd be
know.
killed.
Yeah. So
Wow. I didn't know that.
yeah. So so you're saying he's a nonce.
Oh, big time. Big
Yeah.
time. Oh, he's saying,
little time.
I don't sweat because of an injury I got in the Falklands War. You're taking a mick.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, I felt so sorry for him in that interview.
Well, he got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. Surely, one of the most sort of important or famous families in the world. One of the most powerful families in the world. Surely they should have a better, PR machine.
You'd think so.
And they just you look like a rabbit in headlights.
Absolutely. But I mean, again, look at like Harry and Meghan. They've absolutely buggered it.
Yeah.
Harry was by far the most popular royal until all this stuff with Meghan came out.
I know you're jumping onto Harry, but I've still not finished with Andy Pandy.
Please.
Okay, so what gets me is the out of court settlements. If you're accusing someone, surely they will fight you in court.
Yeah.
But an out of court settlement,
It's suspicious, isn't it?
that just says, look, don't want any trouble. How much do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
thank
it
you
is.
very much.
That's what it
And,
is. Yeah, absolutely.
Restraining order, and that's it.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, stuff like that. I mean, they call him Randy Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's always been these scandals, but the fact that, like, we're in, like, this modern age of, like, social media and internet and stuff, it's a lot harder for them to suppress it. And that's the problem, really. So when someone is scandalous, it's really scandalous.
I'm walking around Central Park
Yeah.
in front of all the, world's media.
Yeah.
I'm having a stern word with Jeffrey.
Yeah. So
Uh,
ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous. What went on that island?
Well, a lot of horribleness.
Yeah.
A lot of, to put it bluntly, child sex trafficking. That's
Really?
what it was.
Underage.
That's what it was. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, that's what it was.
And there's not only Andrew involved, there were, many celebrities, many
Yeah.
sort of leaders.
But the problem is, and the thing is, and it starts with Andrew and sort of Harry's carrying it on, is I call it the celebritification of the royal family. Okay?
Great word.
I don't know if it's a real word.
No, but
I don't know if I've just made it up.
No, but it's
Yeah.
it does the job.
But it's just this idea that, like the royal family, in my opinion, I'm a monarchist. I will say that. I'll put my hand in the air and say that. And the thing is, these people have a duty beyond just being like Hollywood celebrities. Okay, they have to carry themselves in a certain way. They are duty bound, And what's happening, and it started with Randy Andy in the 80s, and it sort of carried on with Diana.
Oh,
I think Diana was a big part of that. I think Diana was a big part of it. And now Prince Harry and Meghan are also part of it. And it's this idea that they're treating their status like it's just any old celebrity figure when it's not. And it really annoys me.
Do we need a monarchy?
Yes.
Because?
So, in a nutshell, in my opinion, in a nutshell, right? A lot of people say, oh, why should they have power? Okay, they don't have power. If you consider a government to be, let's say, a car, right? The actual, like, parliament, the people making laws and stuff, they're the engine. The monarchy is the brakes, right? Yeah. They stop it from getting out of hand.
Oh, they don't sort of break down. Yeah, okay.
But, I mean, like you see in republics like France or America or whatever, if the brakes are also elected, right, they're subject to partisan politics. They're subject to corruption, to the election cycle and whatnot. So they're going to have a bias. They're going to have an opinion. But the monarchy, because of the way the institutional monarchy works, you don't get that. Well, you could theoretically get it, but it's a lot less susceptible to it.
So if there was no royal family, no monarchy in this country, obviously life goes on.
Yeah, but would you?
Is it tourism?
I mean, what do you?
What is it?
No, I hate the tourism argument. I hate the tourism argument because the monarchy, if you don't count a single penny of tourism, the monarchy still produces wealth for us.
Sure.
Through the crown estate.
Yeah.
But it's basically in a nutshell. I mean, like, if we had a elected head of state, if we had a president, you're basically getting one of three people. You're getting either President Tony Blair, you're getting President George Galloway, or you're getting President Nigel Farage. Now, would you prefer any of those three to King Charles, who is totally unbiased by law? Right? They're the brakes, not the engine.
Okay. And what about a hung parliament with all three?
What do you mean?
Or two of them?
A hung parliament?
Yeah.
That's completely irrelevant.
Okay.
That's a totally different thing.
Okay, no, but what if we have a mixture of all three of them? Do we have to have one?
What, like a president?
Yeah.
Right. What, like a Donald Trump? Like a British Donald Trump?
Yeah. Take the best qualities from them. From all three.
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
Okay.
If you have a directly elected president,
yeah,
you're going to get someone who's a populist. That's just how it works.
Who would you pick out of them three?
Oh, well, we're getting into political territory now. We're getting into dangerous land. That's very dangerous territory we're talking now.
Okay, all right. Where you're...
I would pick His Majesty King Charles III. That's who I would pick.
You'd pick King Charles.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So looking at the royal family, I mean, Andy was obviously a playboy in the 80s.
Randy Andy.
Yeah, and he was in the papers all the time.
Yeah.
But then, when Diana got married, she just,
she took over. It's all anyone was talking about. Was
the most
Diana.
photographed person in the world.
At one point, I think so, yeah.
And what did they find endearing about her?
Well, she was very pretty. She was very... Well, this is another thing I was talking about. She's sort of was part of that celebritification process. She very much treated being a royal like a Hollywood celebrity would.
She looked the part.
Played up to the cameras a lot. Tried to be really popular among the people, and she was. But I think she kind of took the mick with it, to be honest.
She looked very shy, though. When she started.
Wasn't.
No, she wasn't.
Oh well, I mean, when she first started, sure, but anyone would be.
Yeah.
But like as it went on, she started taking the mick.
Yeah, but what do you do otherwise? You'd go do lolly.
You got to do your duties.
Yeah, but you'd go crazy being papped everywhere, no peace, and plus you're married to, one of the most famous, most famous families in the world.
Charles didn't want to marry her.
No?
It was a forced marriage.
An arranged marriage.
Charles was in love with Camilla
Mm.
from the get-go. He was in love with Camilla, and the family pressured him to marry Diana.
Didn't the family like Camilla?
Well, Camilla
She
was
was-
divorcee.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Camilla was a divorcee. She'd already been married once before. And the royal family at that time, especially in the 80s, it's very much like can't do that. Can't marry a divorcee.
Yeah.
So it was a big thing. And yeah, he never loved it. He never loved Diana. And I don't blame Charles at all for any of what happened. And especially when people say that, oh, Charles had Diana killed, that's ridiculous.
What about the royal family? You know, weren't the statements say that the dark powers that be,
Huh?
with Diana being killed?
Yeah, well, it was an accident.
Do you think so?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going off track.
Right. No.
A bit like that Merc.
I want to show you
what?
something.
Go on.
Put on the headphones. I want to find this. Hang on. Where's the mouse gone? Hang on. Let me find the mouse.
Well, it was an accident. You're saying?
Yeah. There it is. Right. This is a sketch, but they make a good point, and I want to point it out. Okay, I just want you to watch this, and you'll see why it's so stupid, why it's so ludicrous. Okay. Let me know if it's too loud.
Are you showing me Peep Show?
Now it's Mitchell and Weblock. I know it's a sketch comedy, but trust me, like they make good points. Like just listen
All right.
to it, okay?
Okay.
Right. So you see why it's. I mean that displays it quite.
Okay, that's
quite well.
tongue in cheek. Okay.
But like you get the point. Like it's so ridiculous. Like all those circumstances happening like so specifically. The idea that it was planned.
But it
It's
was
so
stuff.
ridiculous.
It was stuff like, why is it Trevor Rees-Jones, the bodyguard?
Think so.
Okay, why is he sworn to secrecy? I mean, why is he not allowed to say anything? He's the only survivor.
Because that's how it works.
That's pathetic. And in Paris,
It's so ridiculous.
okay.
It's so far fetched.
Okay, we're not in a third world country. We're not in the desert, or a jungle. It took 45 minutes to get an ambulance to her in Paris.
Well, it wasn't in proper Paris. It was out in the sticks.
Out in the sticks?
Yeah.
Have you been there? I've been there, mate.
What, at the crash site?
Yeah. I've been there in that.
It's in like a tunnel, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've been there.
It's out of the way.
No, it's not. That's Paris, mate.
It's not like central Paris. It's like out of the way.
It is central
Is it?
Paris, yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know.
But anyway, what I mean is, stuff like that, and then, the sworn to secrecy.
Well, they have
it just
to
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but the absolute specifics of it is just so absolutely mental. And I mean, like I said, like that whole thing, it was a bit, it was a joke, but like at the end of the day, they make good points. Like it's so ludicrous, the idea that the royal family orchestrated this very specific assassination that took like so many different steps, and there's so many conditions involved that, let's be honest, they wouldn't have been able to control. Okay, it was not a controlled environment. It was a very, very specific series of events that led to the accident.
They are a very powerful family.
Yeah, but they can't do that. They can't just kill people, especially not Princess Diana.
Yeah, but who's a threat to them? Who's a threat to the monarchy? And
how was she a threat?
And what?
How was she a
She
threat?
was involved with this Muslim.
What, Papa? What's his face?
Dodi.
Papadopoulos or something.
Yeah.
Well, he
wasn't.
wasn't.
He was Papadopoulos. Was he?
Something like that. He was like a Greek media magnate.
Oh, I thought it was Dodi Fayed, wasn't it? He was in the car. Who she died with?
Oh, in the car. I don't know.
Yes, you don't know. Okay, all right. Yeah, it was Dodi Fayed.
I don't know who that is.
For not knowing that, you should be fired.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, but anyway, that's your view.
I just think it's so ridiculous.
I mean, there were rumours that she was. I mean, they even said that she was expecting.
Yeah.
So could the
And
future king have a half Muslim brother? What would have happened?
Nothing would have. What does that mean? Nothing would have happened.
No, well, the monarchy wouldn't have been too happy with that. No.
Why not?
This was back then.
Right.
It's all about blue blood.
Right. Well, you got fucking Meghan Markle. She's half black.
Okay.
And they haven't killed her yet.
Yeah.
Although the way things are looking, I wouldn't blame them.
What? And thanks for asking. Yes, you can smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no smoke without fire, mate.
No smoke without fire, maybe.
Yeah. But listen, Meghan and Harry, what happened there?
Well, this is the thing, and it goes back to my theory of celebritification, is Meghan Markle treated marrying into the royal family like marrying any big, like, Hollywood celebrity family. It'd be the same as, for her, it's the same as marrying, like, Tom Hanks's son, right? And she treated it exactly
Tommy Hanks
the same.
Jr.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
Oh, I don't know.
But, like, it's exactly the same. It's just...
She would be a castaway.
Yeah. Essentially, I did get that joke, by the way.
Thank you.
But she just takes the mick with it. Meghan Markle takes the mick. She like I say, she treats it like it's just any other celebrity family. And they do this whole song and dance. They're like, we want to stay out of the public eye, blah blah blah. And then they sign a bunch of deals with Netflix and Spotify and whatnot. I mean, come on.
Got to put, chapatis on the table, mate. You've got to feed yourself.
It's taking the mick. She's taking the mick. I mean, it's a different thing, and it really annoys me the way that people, especially Americans, by the way, but also to an extent people in this country, they talk about the royal family like they would any other celebrity, and it really grinds my gears because it's more than that. It's more than just
gears.
you've got duties. You've got to, you've got a role to play. It's not just, oh, I'm famous, blah blah blah. No, you're part. You know, in my view, the monarchy and the country are one and the same.
Okay, right. But what she was saying, that she encountered racism. No?
I probably, but not to the
Probably,
extent,
but just brush it under the carpet.
No, not like that. I mean, like,
Good.
not like some of the things they say, like. You're getting some of these members of the royal family were born in the 30s. Okay, they're going to have outdated views. Sure, there's probably going to be a little bit of that involved, but it's not going to alter. I mean, like,
Miss you, Prince Philip.
If yeah, big up. But if racism was a real problem, then she wouldn't have ended up marrying into the family, would she?
Yeah, how did they accept that? If
Exactly,
you know,
it wouldn't have happened if,
or maybe
if there was an issue.
maybe he was adamant. Prince Charming, Harry was adamant. You know, maybe he was sticking to his guns and saying, "No, she's the one. I'm going to marry her." So they had to respect his wishes.
Oh, and he throws away his entire life for her.
It's happened in the past. Was it King Edward?
Edward the Eighth.
Yeah.
Well, he married an American divorcee, Wallis Simpson.
Yeah.
And he really wanted to marry her, and I think he ended up regretting that, actually.
What's it called? Abdicate.
Yeah, he abdicated the throne for
That's
her.
love, dude.
That is love, absolutely. And I do get that, but then he was also a Nazi, so...
Was he?
Yeah. Well, he sent telegrams during the war. He sent telegrams to Hitler saying, "If you win, can you make me king again?"
Really?
Yeah, it's confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to like ask because he was like so like obsessed with like fascism and Nazism and stuff. He did like state visits to Germany and whatever. He was really into that stuff. And I mean, like back then, like the thing is because back then it was a different time, and when Edward VIII married Wallis Simpson, basically Parliament said, if you go through with this, we're going to resign. It would have caused the fall of the government, right? That kind of thing. If that happened today, no, Parliament is not going to fall apart because the king marries the wrong person. That won't happen today because the monarchy doesn't have as much power as it did back then. It's just not. It's a non-issue. But back then, like, yeah, sure, it was a thing. But I think people who draw parallels between Harry and Edward, I think it's foolish. I think it's totally out of touch.
But yeah, but it's something that's happened, and
Yeah, I mean, it's
has
precedent.
Harry been stripped of his
Essentially,
royal duties
yeah.
and-
He's not even allowed to use the name Windsor anymore.
No,
His surname's Sussex now.
Is
because
it?
he was the Duke of Sussex. So now he's not Harry Windsor, he's Harry Sussex now. And it's Meghan
at least
Sussex.
he's got a title.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, Windsor's a little town. Sussex is a county.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. So
every cloud-
maybe he's laughing last, actually. You know, who knows?
and he's in America. And
Yeah.
do you think he's happy?
No.
No.
If you see some of the, I've seen like body language experts like looking over like some like interviews with Harry and Meghan and stuff, and the dude is like, I think he regrets his choice.
Really?
Yeah, but he's stuck with it now, so he's just got to like stick through it. But I think he regrets it. I think he's very unhappy.
But then again, if he's made the choice for the woman he loves, and he's got children whom he loves, so
Yeah, that's true.
He's made the right choice.
Yeah, maybe.
Why should he listen to? He said he wasn't aware of this certain type of behaviour. He had been sort of he had a cushioned upbringing. Yeah.
Sure.
So but it's. I remember when the wedding happened.
Yeah.
And everyone, was looking forward to this, the future, and everything. It just sort of went sour so quickly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think it's
some
Meghan's
managers do
fault.
it,
I
it's a
think it's just
lottery.
because of how Meghan treated it, and I think it's because Meghan treated it well. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but she treated it like marrying any other celebrity, and I do resent her for it, to be honest.
Do you not think she's genuine? Do you think she was
Vile woman,
vile?
vile woman.
Really?
Totally in it for the money.
Really?
100%. 100%. The way she acts.
She wasn't short of a bob beforehand, an actress before, an American actress.
Yeah, but she wasn't a princess.
True.
You know, and it's just it's just the way she. I mean, like you any Joe blog, you ask him who Meghan Markle was before that marriage, before that couple started. You ask him who's Meghan Markle, no one could tell you, right? It's a status thing for her. Being able to marry in is total status thing, 100%. Actress. She's a socialite. She is Wallace Simpson 2.0. She is Wallace Simpson 2.0. It was all a status thing. She wormed her way in. 100%.
Yeah. 100%. So you don't like her? No. Well,
could you figure that out?
Just
could you tell?
Just a bit.
Yeah.
And recently, there's been ill health. The King's got ill health.
He's cancer.
And he's on the mend now.
Yeah.
Thankfully, and Kate as well. That was a bit of a shock.
That was a shock. That was surprising.
The timing and.
I really like Princess Catherine.
Yeah,
I think.
You're on.
Sorry, Kate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kate Middleton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Princess Catherine.
Yeah, you like her.
Yeah, big time. I think she's a phenomenal Princess of Wales.
Yeah.
I think it really upset me when I heard she had cancer as well.
Yeah, it was, listen, it's a private thing, even though she's in the public eye. So, but she's on a recovery now.
Yeah.
Obviously in the best hands.
Yeah.
What else could you tell me about the monarchy? Something that we haven't talked. We never heard about Edward, do we? Or is he just
Which Edward?
Prince Edward.
Which one?
The youngest child. His youngest brother, Andrew's.
Oh yeah, I mean
Prince Andrew.
No.
Which other Prince Edward are you talking about?
Well, there's a few. That's the thing. There's like 5 of them.
Is there?
There's like 5.
What in over the?
If you're talking about the younger brother of you've got Princess Anne.
Sophie, who's married to Sophie.
Yeah,
Princess Sophie.
Well, yeah, I hear a lot about Edward.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because of the circles I'm in, but I hear a lot about Prince Edward.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
Circle.
He does a lot, Prince Edward. He's a good man. He has a lot of duties.
Sure.
Actually, he probably does more than most others.
Yeah.
Other than the king, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's It's Princess Anne, and then it's King Charles, Prince Andrew, and then Prince Edward. Andrew was always the favourite as well of the late Queen Elizabeth II. Andrew was the favourite until obviously that fateful BBC
Andrew
interview.
was very handsome young man. The prince.
Yeah, he was very popular.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that
he was mixing in the wrong circles.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And fancy saying that he what was he suffering from where he didn't. He couldn't sweat. Post-traumatic.
Oh, yeah. He said he got an injury in the Falklands War that meant he couldn't sweat.
Yeah.
Which means, these photos aren't real because you can see I'm sweating in them and I can't sweat because of the Falklands. Total nonsense.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Yeah. Good. And do you think Jeffrey Epstein was killed in prison?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, clearly.
I love the way you straight away, without batting an eyelid. Yeah, clearly. When I mentioned Diana, what? Don't be silly.
Oh, well, that's completely different. That's apples and oranges.
Is it?
Apples and oranges.
How?
Okay, so in Epstein's cell, so the cameras just so happened to go off when it happened.
Yeah.
There were certain state actors in the region when it happened. There's so much going on with that, right? And it was in a prison. It was in a controlled environment. What happened with Diana? That wasn't a controlled environment. There weren't any state actors around. It was the circumstances. The photos were taken.
And these weren't.
There were paparazzi around when it happened, right?
Where are these photos? Why aren't we allowed to see? Or why is everything silent?
You can see them.
Where?
You can find pictures
of her passing when she was injured, and I've never seen them. I could never see them.
Famous photos.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Of her, dead.
Yeah. Well, it sucks. It's horrible. But it's like, whereas with Epstein, there's no such thing. It's clearly a setup.
Basically, he knew too much.
Yeah.
And this is my belief. If you know too much,
Then,
yeah.
especially if you're about to go on trial.
Yeah. So that's, I like you were going Papadopoulos, whereas Dodie fired, even though you knew it was probably Dodie fired, but you're just making out as if you don't know
No.
too much.
There was a guy. There was a guy.
Was
like
he a Greek
Papadopoulos.
magnate?
Yeah, he was like this like Greek sort of like media guy. I'd see if I can find him.
Yeah, I don't know what Dodie fired. You know, he was the son of the Muhammad Al Fayed, the owner of Harrods and Egyptian.
I might be thinking of that. I thought he was Greek.
You don't know, dude.
I thought he was Greek. Hang on.
He's Egyptian.
Hang on. I think you might be right. I think I've been mixed up.
Well, you've been mixing your substances, mate.
I think I've been mixed up. What was his name?
Dodie Al Fayed. Dodie Fayed, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of the wrong person. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. This is who I was thinking of.
Yeah. So he was.
That's who I was
he was
thinking
the
of.
son of the Muhammad Al Fayed, who
Yeah.
basically took the royal family to court, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, saying they murdered.
Yeah.
That sounds Scottish then. You know, they murdered. My son and Princess Diana.
No, I think this is who I was thinking of.
The
For
British
some
Secret
reason,
Service.
I was thinking of someone else, but no. This is who I was thinking of. Yeah, Dodie fired.
Yeah. And the only person to have survived was, I think, Trevor Rees-Jones, who was the only one, I think, wearing a seatbelt in the car.
Well, that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like if they were killed, like they're relying on these
But then
people
he
not
was
wearing a seatbelt.
He was a tough nut as well, He's,
yeah, but still, I mean, it's just
But he's we're not allowed to interview him. We can't.
Well, yeah, because he was part of what was he? What's his name?
I think Trevor Rees-Jones.
Because he was part of some agency.
There it is, top one.
Yeah. What was he?
He was like a bodyguard, wasn't he? He was Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Investigations revealed that none of the occupants of the car were wearing a seatbelt.
Okay. But was he wearing... Well, listen.
Well, it says he wasn't. He says it wasn't.
Okay, all right. Okay, but this is wiki, innit?
Yeah, but it's pretty reliable.
Yeah.
People often diss Wikipedia and they say, "Oh, it's not reliable," but it mostly is.
Is it?
Yeah, you get these like Rain Man types that are like constantly monitoring like every single page of Wikipedia. They monitor every single edit.
All right, Dustin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's very difficult to vandalize Wikipedia, so it's mostly accurate. These people say, "Oh, you can't trust Wikipedia. Anyone can edit it." Yeah, anyone can edit it, but if you vandalize a page, you're talking about 20 seconds before one of these Rain Man types is immediately reverting it. So,
getting back to the royal family, Prince Philip. What a character!
my G.
Listen, but did you see him at the final sort of like? The final sort of year or so.
Yeah,
he survived. He survived.
He had a car crash.
How old was he? 90 odd.
Yeah, he was driving a car.
He was driving like a Range Rover or something.
Yeah, he was driving a Range Rover. He got in a car crash. Yeah.
Survived that, but he just looked to me.
He looked like a zombie.
He did. What was all that about?
It's just old people.
Really? He just is the vacant look, and he just looked like...
When you get that old, that's just how you look. I've seen plenty of really old people. They all look like that.
Yeah.
It's not like this whole like, oh, he only lived so long because he was on like, blood sacrifice or something. No. It's just, that's what old people look like. That's just what 90-year-old people look like.
He did look, you know what I mean? It looked scary, man. But and they both the king the Queen and Prince Philip are buried in the chambers, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're buried in the same place,
Of Windsor Castle. That's
Don't think it's Windsor Castle. I think it's Westminster Abbey, isn't it?
Is it? I thought it was Windsor Castle.
I thought
Get the
there might
guitar
be.
out.
There we go. We'll use our new device.
Yeah. I'm sure it was in the vault at Windsor Castle.
Because she's buried above George VI.
Yeah. The memorial.
Windsor
chapel.
Castle. You're right. Yeah, Windsor Castle. Yeah, you're
I'll
right.
have to change the show to the Merf Irf Show.
Yeah. You know more than me at this point. What's going on?
And well,
No, Windsor Castle. You're right. Yeah. She was buried above King George VI.
that is crazy. What can you
Imagine
tell me?
being buried on top of your father.
Hey,
Being buried on top of your father.
so she's buried on top of her father.
So they
but-
buried George VI,
Yeah.
and then her coffin went directly on top of George VI's
Yeah.
coffin, which is her dad.
Yeah,
So she was buried literally on top of her father.
close knit family.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, Merf, that was sort of interesting about your views on the monarchy. Obviously, you've got your views, I've got mine. But there's certainly characters, and every family has ups and downs, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
absolutely, yeah.
But anyway, thanks for watching the Irf and Merf show, or the Irf and Irf show today.
Irf and Irf. Yeah, he knew more than me for once. Blooming actor. What's going on?
So, and I didn't get the guitar out.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's a reference to? Get the guitar out. No. Ricky Gervais in The Office when he goes to make everyone feel,
yeah.
get the guitar out.
Yeah. Awesome, yeah. Thank you for watching the Merf and Irf show.
Thank you. Tune in soon.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.